Well, hello there, and welcome back to Mr. E's Mysteries and Magics. Yeah, you like how I did that same sort of similar introduction as I did for the demo of this particular routine? So here is the tutorial. Again, those of you who saw Peter's video already know what I've done. If you've been doing magic for more than about, no, I don't know, 15 minutes, you know what I've done. This tutorial is really for real beginners, just to make sure that I have covered all my bases for those of you who really don't know exactly what I did in the particular demo that goes with this tutorial. So the first thing is the setup, and it doesn't matter what deck you use that you give to your participants. What you need to do is take in this case, the 6 of diamonds and the 10 of spades, and you're going to put them on the top of the deck. Doesn't matter which order they're in. I did the cut deeper force for the first participant. It's also known, I understand, I recently found out it's also called the Henry Christ force. I have no idea who Henry Christ was, but apparently he created this particular force. So anyway, you cut a small portion of the deck, turn it around this way, flip it up, right side up, face up, then cut a little deeper than that, go back into the deck and do the same thing, flip them over, put it up, face up. And what that does really is it takes the top of the deck and makes it the first face down cards that you come to. So you're going to go through the face up cards, and when you get to this point, your first face down card will be the very card that you put on the top of the deck. In this case, it's the 6 of diamonds, and that is the card, that first card that your participant will take. This still leaves the 10 of spades in the what was the second position. They're now on top. And as Peter did his force, he used a name, his daughter's name, and it doesn't matter what the name is. You tell them to spell their name out like this. Doesn't matter what their name is. It doesn't matter how many letters are in it. You just spell it out like this. You pick it up, you put it back on the top of the deck, and they're going to spell their name out. And I think I did 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I do it right? Yes, 6. Their name was 6 letters long. So when they take the card, what's going to happen is when they take this card, they're reversing what you just did and putting this card back on top. So let's say their name is well, let's say 7 letters long. So 1, you tell them, here's how I want you to do it. Let's spell your name out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You do it just like that, okay? You put the cards back on top of the deck. You hand the deck to the participant, and they spell their name out, just like you told them to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And sure enough, the last card will be the one you want them to have. All right, so in this case, it is the 10 of spades. Now, having said that, that's what I did. Having done that, it doesn't really matter how you force the cards. These two ways of doing it work very well because the setup is so easy. You just put the cards on the top there and you're ready to go. The shuffling was a controlled shuffle that kept the 2 cards on the top. Doesn't matter what the other 50 cards do or where they end up. They're all indifferent, and that's all it was. Okay, just some controlled shuffles, and the cards remain on the top. I did a false cut. I used the one, again, I'm not sure if there's a name for it, but you have your participant cut the cards, put it down, and mark their cut by going like that. You talk to them for a minute or two to kind of get their mind off of what they just did. As you saw in the demo video, I talked about, betting on the beer or whatever. And so you take their mind off for a minute. So then you pick the cards up, and what you're doing is you're picking up the bottom half of the deck. Okay, this was the bottom half of the deck, and you're just doing that, and it looks like you've cut the cards, but you simply put the bottom half back on the bottom and the top half back on the top, and there's our 6 of diamonds, and there would be our 10 of spades. Okay, so whatever cards you want, they will stay on the top. Again, you can use any force you want. Doesn't make a lick of difference. And you can use any fake cut that you want as well. All right. I just like to use those two because it's so easy having the 2 cards on the top. The other point is part of the setup is I took this gaff card and I put it in the middle of the silver deck. And as you recall, I spread the silver deck out and show that the cards are all mixed up. Okay, that is verbal misdirection. Doesn't really matter if the cards are mixed up or not, because you're going to go through these as the magician, and you're just going to pick the card that you want anyway. But the reason you show them the cards are mixed up is not because you want them to see that the cards are mixed up. You want them to see that this looks like a completely ordinary deck. That's why you're doing it. That's the real reason. That's why it's verbal misdirection. You're telling them that you are showing it to them because you want them to see that it's completely mixed up, when in fact the reason you're showing it to them is something completely different. You just want them to think that this is a normal deck. And of course, it's so hard to see the gaff card because you can just, you know kind of where it is, so you can just glide right by it, and it goes so fast. I mean, I saw it there just now, but it goes by so fast that your participants are not likely to see it. They're not likely to be looking at the corners anyway. They're more likely to be looking, down inside at the, not so much at the corners, but the pips and so on. So you can just slide by it real quickly. They'll never know that the card's there. At that time, you didn't even see it. It wasn't even shown. So, you do that, and it just is a convincer. And that's basically all there is to it. The rest of it is just your pattern and what you're trying to present to them. So, you go through the card. Now, I did the prediction before they picked the cards. Another variation is you can have them pick the cards first and then go get the prediction. Doesn't make a lick of difference because you're just going to go through the deck until you find the gaff card. And again, it doesn't matter either what gaff card you use. Any kind of gaff card that has two different cards on it will work in any way you want. That's my variation of Peter Ford's effect, an effect with a very special gaff card. That's how I do it with two people and with a gaff card that is not half of an odd number. So that's it. Nothing to it. Simple trick, simple routine, very easy to do. It looks like it'd be a lot of fun to do, and I can't wait to get out of this pandemic stuff and use this particular effect to beffer people.